Lakini kama tu wataenda kuchukua pesa kwa sababu huko ni pesa inapeanwa. Huko pesa ni mingi sana Martin. Sijui kama ulipata kitu siku ulikuwa hapa State Lodge. Huko pesa ni mingi na inapeanwa. Wasiende huko kupeleka tumbo zao. Pesa wachukue, hatukatazi hao kwa sababu tumbo zao ni kubwa, wanataka kukula, wakule. Lakini wafanye haki. Watetee watu wa Meru. Kitu rais anasikia ni pressure ya raia na ya wabunge. Na ndio mimi nikaita hao watu wa Meru kuambia yale tunapitia kama jamii na yale rais ambaye anatufanyia. Siku alitaka kufuta Kome niliwaita. Na nikamwambia huyu Kome atafutwa kazi. Na alifutwa. Nikaambia endeni pale mtoe ukali. Wakakataa.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the backstory. If you're new here, kindly hit that subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified whenever we post a new video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if there is one mistake that President William Ruto made, it was to sack Gachagua. I know when this was happening, so many of President William Ruto's handlers thought that after sacking him, he was going to maybe get tired and go back to his village. And at some point at the back of their mind, they thought that Gachagua was not going to be like was not going to give them a serious political damage. But it seems like Gachagua's attempt to lock President William Ruto out of the vote-rich Mount Kenya region is bearing fruits and is continued to keep up the tempo because he knows that if he gets his foot out of the accelerator or out of the pedals, then President William Ruto, who has finance, can would win over the Mount Kenya region voters back to his camp. So yesterday, he had a media engagement with members of the larger Meru region, and he was on Meru TV. And during that interview, he highlighted some issues that still paints President William Ruto's government or regime in bad colors. And I want us to listen in. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at what Gachagua is doing, he knows that 2027 is still a long way. We still have like around 2 years to get to 2027. Even though some people are saying that we need to go to election in 2026, that is something that is already, some people are working on ways to challenge that and go to a court of law so that a ruling can be made. But let's stick to 2027. 2027 is like 2 years. And in politics, they say that 1 day or 2 days or 3 days is a very long time. Anything can happen. Changes can happen. And that is why Gachagua's handlers are not letting their foot off the pedal in their attempt to lock President William Ruto completely out of the vote-rich Mount Kenya region. You know, just some days back, or some weeks back, President William Ruto was in the Mount Kenya region. And some people thought that he made gains when he toured that region. So, Gachagua and his team have crafted a way of not letting President William Ruto make gains. However much he will try and campaign in that region, they're not going to let him. And one of the
ni vile tu hataki sisi, alitutumia vibaya na alipomalizana na sisi ni kama tissue paper, hana haja na sisi. Sasa mimi nikaambia hao watu ya Meru, hao wabunge, huyu mtu wetu atafutwa kazi, tafadhali twendeni tuangaliane na hii mtu kiume, macho kwa macho. Tumuulize kwa nini nataka kufuta mtu wetu. Hawezi hao wabunge, hawezi saidia sisi. Hataki mtu yuko na akili, hataki mtu yuko na msimamo, hataki mtu ambaye ako na mafikra. Anataka mtu yesa. Fertilizer ilikuwa inanunuliwa kutoka State House na rais na head of public service anaitwa Felix Koskei. Hakuna pahali Linturi alihusika. Lakini signature yake inatumika. Na si yeye anaweka, inawekewa tuko kwa maofisi. Unasikia? Siku fertilizer imepatikana mbaya. Na mwenye kuuza hiyo fertilizer ni Muhindi anaitwa Defki. ambaye ni rafiki ya rais, ambaye ndio wanafanya na yeye biashara ya affordable housing, wakajaribu kuletea Linturi shida. Saa ile Wakenya walileta kelele sana, wakaona wajinawa mikono na Mithika Linturi. Huyu mtu amepewa kazi ya waziri hapa juzi. Huyu mbunge alikuwa ya Bere North, anaitwa sijui nani, ndiye alipewa kazi ya kuota signature ya kufukuza Linturi. Mimi nikamuita, kamuuliza, wewe Ruko, wewe ni mtoto ya hapa Mbere, huyu Linturi ni mtoto wetu ya hapa Meru, imekuwaje wewe ndio unachukua signature ya kufukuza Mithika Linturi? Akaniambia Linturi ni mwizi, ameiba fertilizer. Nikamketisha chini, nikamwambia Linturi hausiki, mwenye mambo ya fertilizer ni Rais William Ruto na Felix Kosgei. Huyu mtoto wetu anataka kuuliwa bure, akuwe sacrificial lamb. Please wachana na hiyo maneno. Unasikia? Ruko akaniambia okay, mimi akatoa list, alikuwa na 82 names akanipatia. Nikaangalia. Akaniambia mimi nimesikia, unless nipewe amri nyingine, yeah? Hiyo maneno nimewachana naye. Sasa mwenye nani naweza kutoa amri nyingine kuliko mimi? Si ni rais? Nikaweka yeye kwa ndege. Tukatembea na yeye pahali tulikuwa tunaenda na rais. Tulipotoka tukaenda State House na yeye. Tukakula lunch na rais. Akamwambia rais, huyu Roko huyu ndio anatatiza waziri wetu Linturi, na ndio anachukua masignature ya kufukuza waziri wetu, na huyu waziri hana makosa. Rais anajifanya ni yeye, ni huyu anafanya. Wewe Ruko, sitaki hiyo maneno haya. Asema wewe Rigiji, sasa ni sawa, niwachie hii mtu ninyorosha yeye. Mimi nikatoka nikaenda. Ruko akaenda akaitwa kaongea na rais. Ruko alikuja kunitafuta. Akatoa pesa kibunda $40,000. Akaniambia ndio hili nimepatiwa na rais, nimeambiwa niendelee kuchukua signature ya kukuza Linturi. Nikaita Linturi. Nikamwambia rais ndio mwenye kutumana signature utole. Linturi anasema au si huyu William Ruto amelala kwangu maua, anaweza kunifanyia hivi? Nikamwambia iko namna hiyo.
So one of the strategies that is using effectively is media engagement, because this media engagement gives him a wider coverage and wider audience, and is able to reach to even the people who are in the interior part of that Meru region and other parts of the country. Is not only appealing, because yesterday was speaking in English and Swahili, and is able to reach out to all the guys who are in Meru, in different parts of the country. You know, President William Ruto's strategists thought very well that Gachagua was like a passing wind or a passing cloud. But it seems the strategy that he has picked up, if he maintains that tempo into 2027, then it might work out for him, because he knows that for him to go around to campaign in the entire Mount Kenya region, one is going to be very expensive. So that is why they've deployed another strategy of reaching out to media houses, individual media houses and regional media houses, so that they can reach out to a wider audience, just as I've said. But another issue that I've also picked up is the fact that he's been able to make the Meru people or the entire Mount Kenya region to feel like they're the victim. And you know, when victimhood is used in politics, it appeals to the emotions of the people. So whatever he was talking about yesterday, he was trying to hit President William Ruto by telling the people of Mount Kenya region that this is a party or a government that they voted for. But this government, instead of them reaping the fruits of the government, they have been persecuted. And he thinks that they need to vote out President William Ruto in 2027 and bring in a fresh kind of team that will serve them. And the other weakness that is, he also, if you watch him keenly, the other weakness that he found is the link between President William Ruto and the incumbent members of parliament. Because Rigathi Gachagua knows that in politics, resources or money plays a very big part. And most politicians or the incumbent members of parliament or people who will be vying for political seats will need funding heading to 2027. They will need money. And the only person right now who has the means, as I would call it, is President William Ruto. And heading into 2027, so many people will be compromised in terms of being given resources to go and campaign. And most or majority of members of parliament from Mount Kenya region or the larger Meru region have not fully identified with this cause. And he thinks that that is the weakness that he has identified that as a weakness. And in his interview, he was very categorical and he was attacking these members of parliament by painting them in bad colors so that at least they can jump over to his group and help champion for the cause of locking President William Ruto out of the Mount Kenya region. The other issue that he also talked about is about them working together as an opposition, because they know very well that if they don't work together, then it's going to be a game shot for them. So they have to bring in the likes of Matiang'i, they have to bring in Kalonzo Musyoka and Eugene Wamala and Martha Karua, because by telling people that they are going to unite, that gives hope to the people who were kind of doubting the opposition. Because the opposition, if in any case one of them will like walk away or decide to go on his own in 2027, then that will be a game shot, and President William Ruto will win in 2027. But he knows, or his handlers knows, that he has to give hope to the people of the Mount Kenya region, so that, you know, when 2027 will come, there will be that option that will be dangled to the people of Central Kenya or Kenyans. They'll be asked, and it has always happened, whereby they are asked if they want to be in government or be in opposition. Majority of Kenyans would always go for being in government. That becomes an easier option because they know that if they're out of government, one, they'll be asked if they want development. And it's the perceived government that has the means and the resources to spur economic growth or to do infrastructural development that spurs economic growth. So majority of Kenyans will always think of being in government. And that is why assuring the Mount Kenya region that the opposition is going to be united in trying to host President William Ruto in 2027 plays a very big role. So he had to also talk about this. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be very interesting fight ahead of 2027. We'll keep monitoring what is going on and keep you updated. But for now, that is it from us. Until next time, bye-bye.